Slovencev ob taktih naše slovenske polke še kako radi plešejo Avstrijci, Nemci, pa Švicari in Švedi, Avstralci, Amerikanci in nenazadnje seveda tudi Kanačani. No, naš naslednji gost prihaja iz Kanade. Pravzaprav je kralj polke v Kanadi in eden redkih Slovencev, ki se lahko pohvali z imenitnim priznanjem. Doslej ima v svoji vitrini že 2 Grammyja, 2 glasbena Oskarja. Z nami nocoj Walter Ostanek. Dobrodošel v Sloveniji, Walter. Takole bomo rekli, kakšna je pravzaprav razlika med ameriško ali bolje rečeno kanadsko polko pa našo tipično slovensko?
V Kanadi in v Ameriki harmonike je naspred, ne? Tako kot moj ansambl imam tenor saksofon, alto saksofon, pa klarinet, poleg igra pa gitara, tudi banjo igra, pa bas, pa boben, pa ko pojemo.
A tako je to. Torej banjo to bo še Lojze vključil, ne?
Ja, zdaj bo začel banjo, bo tudi imel.
Na boben bo pa tudi prišel, če bo šlo tako naprej, ne? Ja, to bo tudi še, ja. Takole. Torej, 2 mojstra, 2 harmoniki, 1 viža. Polka Village, Lojze Slak in seveda Walter Ostanek. Bravo. Lojze Slak in Walter Ostanek. Ampak še enega smo pripeljali. Prihaja iz Clevelanda, iz Amerike. Welcome to Slovenia, Eddie Habat. Ja, moram reči, da je Edi Habat, prav tako član in sicer enega združenja, kjer so zbrani zares najimenitnejši muzikantje. To je Hall of Fame, se imenuje.
v Cleveland, Ohio.
Clevelandu, tako. No in tu sta oba pravzaprav seveda člana, ne?
Mi dva smo že prijatelja, ko sem bil poročen, je mene povabil z moje žena, da sem bil tam.
Aha.
Pa nikmo hiš, ja.
Aha. Sta še poročena ženo?
A dva smo poročena in smo še prijatelja.
Še prijatelja, ok, friends, ja. Te pa je vredi, te pa ne špilejo, zdaj, ja. Hvala lepa, Walter Ostanek in Edi Habat. Jaz imam eno samo sporočilo.
Stay tuned for the story of Frank Yankovic, America's Polka King, hosted by Myron Florin.
The Acapulco polka, it makes you feel so light and gay.
You say polka music, you say America's Polka King, Frank Yankovic.
He was the pioneer that was the first to get on television.
But when it comes down to polka, that was the man.
That makes you jump and
How I did it, I can't tell you.
you don't have to go to Mexico to do the Acapulco polka. Ole!
Major funding for this program.
No one ever played polkas any better than Frankie Yankovic.
Basically, his name is synonymous with polka music in the 20th century. I mean, when you think of polka music, you think of Frankie Yankovic.
Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you got something that nobody else has got, you cause me to spend all my money. You laugh and call me old Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because.
I know that when he's up there on stage, he has this light goes off inside his head. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He has to do this.
When the Beatles hit, every kid in the world bought a guitar. When Frank hit, every kid in the world bought an accordion.
Well, musicians, when they travel, meet a lot of, I don't want to get too personal here, but meet a lot of ladies. Yeah, you know.
Well, now you come.
Did you meet a lot of ladies?
Now you're coming to nitty-gritty.
Yeah, I want to...
Yankovic and his band of the 40s made it a generic music. It was no longer ethnic music. It was American music. It's as American as rock and roll.
He's the father of polka music. That's it.
He's too diverse and complex to really describe in just a few sentences. I mean, it would take a whole hour documentary to even scratch the surface.
I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because.
1949. Today, millions of people know the words and sing along when they hear this song.
I dreamed of that night with you, lady, when first we met. We danced in a whirl of blue. How can my heart forget? Blue were the skies and blue were your eyes, just like the blue skirt you wore. Come back, blue lady, come back. Don't be blue anymore.
Sometimes when I play the Blue Skirt Waltz, I have 4,000 or 5,000 people in the audience. And they're either singing along or they're out there dancing and they're having a great time. It's just one of those songs that touches people.
I wandered alone one night till I heard an orchestra play. I met you where lights were bright and people were carefree and gay. You were the beautiful lady in blue. I was in heaven just waltzing with you. You filled me with strange delight, then softly you stole away.
I've known Frank since my early days with Lawrence Welk. By then, each of these songs had sold over 1 million records, and Frank had become one of America's most popular entertainers. Since then, he's recorded more than 1,000 songs. Today, Frank's still doing what he loves best, still taking his music to audiences across the country.
Here we go. Roll out the clap. Come on, everybody. We'll have a carol. Roll out the barrel. Roll out. We got the blues on the run. We got the... Katie. Oh, Katie, what's your name?
Marcy.
And how old are you?
7.
You like polka music?
Yes.
Now it's time to roll the barrel.
He's always played through the good and bad, the small places, the big places. It didn't matter to him if there was 100 people in the crowd or if there was 5,000 people in the crowd.
Frank went into unexplored territories in polka music by really becoming a type of road band that hadn't existed to that point. He kind of created a model that a little band of just a few guys that is playing a grassroots type of music can be a show business attraction.
Come on, everybody.
He became a one-man personal crusade for his style of music. In some ways, he's analogous to a guy like Bill Monroe in bluegrass music, who also, you know, played every place. There's no gig too small for Frank.
Roll out the barrel. Roll out.
One of the reasons for Frank's popularity in the late 40s was that he had created a distinctive new sound, a sound that appealed to a mass audience.
I was looking for a sound that would be adaptable to all the ethnic groups, regardless how old, what nationality. So we finally came across an instrument called a solovox. I'd play the solovox, and the band sound empty, or something missing in there. So finally I got the idea, why can't we get 2 solovoxes? The piano player play lead, I'll play harmony, but then we needed something else to fill in there. Then came to me the idea of getting another accordion player, and that's when I went to Johnny Pecan and I asked him to join the band. He did. And Johnny did the fill-in while we played the solo box. And that was a sound that I had and still have. It's a sound, it makes the band sound big.
He was experimenting with the music. Here he was taking a kind of a jazzy Dixieland jazz banjo, a walking bass, boom, 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 you know, from jazz, and combining it with this Slovenian accordion sound, and then putting these improvised riffs behind the main melody. He put together something that at the time was very exciting.
Frank's sound and his lively performance style captivated audiences. This was especially true the night of June 9th, 1948. The country was in the midst of a polka craze, and Frank and his band were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to compete against the top polka bands for the title of America's Polka King. That night, Frank and his band played to a packed auditorium of 8,000 fans.
Most of the boys used to stand back here while the other band was playing.
Watch the competition.
Yeah, they stand and they'd look in there, keep looking, see how they're going. They look at the crowd, they go out here, they open the curtain, look some more. It was just hard to believe, you know. And then when they walked out there, what we seen there, these empty chairs, what we seen was people there. Johnny Pecan was at his best. And then Georgie Cook was over there playing that old banjo. And Lufshin on the drums, he beat up the drums. It was just one good time. Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you got something that nobody else has got, why you caused me to spend all my money. You laughed and called me old Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because, Then we sing it in Italian, Slovenian. Just because I see a bella bella, just because I see il pacione, just because I see a maskarada, that nobody else is a gaca. Ti snardila sam jaz za pravu moja denarja, si rekla sam jaz star Miklauš, jaz bom te povedal, jaz sam tebe pustil sam za tu. Then the whole band got in there, just because you think you're so pretty.
The vote was 8-1 for Frank Yankovic, and he was officially crowned America's Polka King.
I believe that band, those 5 individuals in that band, had a lot to do with charting the future of the polka industry as it exists today.
I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because, hey!
The power Frank and his musicians held over the audience that night was something he began developing as a young child. Frank was born in a West Virginia lumber camp in 1915. When he was a few months old, his parents, who were Slovenian immigrants, moved to Collinwood, a neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio. In Frank's Slovenian neighborhood, no matter how long the workday was, there was always time for music. A lot of the music Frank heard was polka music, a lively form of dance music that originated in Central Europe in the early 1800s. Wherever people from Central Europe have settled, polka music has come along.
Dad and Mom had what they called boarders, and one of our boarders was named Mag Chaluditz. He pulled out what they call a button box, which is a 3-rolled European Slovenian-style accordion. So in the daytime, when they went to work, I'd sneak that accordion out, and I'd start fooling around with it. And before long, I start playing 1 or 2 or 3 songs, and all of a sudden, I got requests to go play for a social or go play for some wedding dance, and this got me started.
You know, there are very few ethnic neighborhoods that are solidly one ethnicity. there's always something of a mix of Slovenians and Italians and Polish. And these kids were growing up with an ethnic culture at home, but a neighborhood culture out the door. And a type of multi-ethnic, blue-collar, urban industrial culture was emerging among kids of immigrants. And they were looking for something that was, yes, like what they had at home, but somehow encompassed this broader experience.
Frank began to imitate the popular musicians of the day who were mingling Slovenian folk music with elements of American ragtime and jazz.
Well, when I was about 10 years old here, I used to come down to Slovenian home over here, and I'd climb up those staircase and listen there all evening long. The best song I ever heard here, a tune called The Silk Umbrella. Yes, pati, pajidna marela. Yes, pati, pajidna marela. Ti, pajas, posmo bas narela. Yes, pati, pajidna marela. Ti, pajas, pajidna parazol. I love the button box. I still love it. But then I seen the future in the modern accordion. Dad was typical Slovenian, and he was a die-hard button box fan. He wouldn't accept it. So Mom went behind his back and said, son, I'll buy you an accordion, but don't let Dad know about it. So I'd go in the garage and practice, and for some reason, I couldn't grasp it. So I went and told Mom, I said, Mom, I'm sorry, I can't learn. She said, son, if you don't learn how to play that accordion, and Dad finds out that I went out and I bought it for you, we're both going to be in bad shape. So I went back in there and worked on it. All of a sudden, I got the feel of it, started playing it. So when I learned a couple of songs, I was brave enough to go in the house, and I started playing the piano accordion in front of my dad. He looked at me, and all of a sudden, a big smile on his face. He finally accepted what I was doing.
The first song Frank played for his dad was called Oj Marička Pegla, Old Mary is Ironing. It goes something like this. That's a Slovenian tune. When Frank was growing up, at Slovenian events, you heard only Slovenian music. At Polish events, there was only Polish music. Although Frank loved the traditional music, he wanted to play music that entertained people of all nationalities. With this in mind, Frank began adding English lyrics to European songs.
June night, how enchanting was that June night, when we bowed there in the moonlight, and never more to part.
4 years after I started playing did I finally decide to put lyrics to it and sing so that people could remember what song they wanted me to play. Otherwise, they wouldn't know what to tell me. If I played one song or the other, how could they tell me what to play?
Oh, Mary Ann.
Frank's growing popularity landed him regular performances on Cleveland's radio shows. By the age of 23, he had built a sizable following.
So that's when I got the idea of going to Cleveland Recording in Cleveland. And I said, let's cut a few records, take them to a local record store, and see how they would sell. So that's exactly what we did. They were selling like hotcakes.
Not long after this, Frank married June Irworth. In 1941, Frank was about to become a father. He had a day job, he gave music lessons, and he played music at social events. He decided to open a tavern in order to create a permanent home for his band. His place soon became a gathering spot for musicians like Johnny Pecan, Lou Trebar, and Eddie Habat. But it got off to a rocky start. The day after it opened, Pearl Harbor was bombed.
When I opened my first tavern, I'll never forget it, we had a jam-packed house. And next morning I hear about Pearl Harbor. I said, oh my God, that's the end of Yankovic.
Frank enlisted in 1943. During the Battle of the Bulge, Frank suffered from severe frostbite. He was told that to save his life, his hands and feet would have to be amputated. Frank refused. Using the accordion as therapy for his hands, Frank made a miraculous recovery.
What happened after I came out of the hospital with my frozen hands and feet, they finally put me in social service there, and we played all the different camps out in Europe, in Germany, Italy, all around there.
Like other ethnic musicians, Frank came home from the war with a new perspective.
They were exposed to cultures from all over the country, different nationalities, and they had a common bond of being patriotic Americans. When they came back, they wanted to play the piano accordion, they wanted to play jazz, they wanted to become American musicians.
You come home and there's a polka. There's a polka playing, and it took all that shock waves of war away that quick.
You were happy just to hear that kind of music after all the stuff we went through, the war and all that stuff. And that was the beginning of polka time in this country.
Frank's records were selling well, and all the major record companies wanted him. In 1946, he signed with Columbia Records. In the 1947 recording session, Frank had to fight to record a song that Johnny Pecan had brought to his attention. The song was called Just Because.
I went to New York City to record, and our big break came when the recording was released in Boston, Massachusetts, where polkas were very, very unheard of. Just Because sold 38,000 copies the first week.
Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you've got something that nobody else has got, you cause me to spend all my money. You laugh and call me old Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because. Just because.
Just Because sold over 1 million records the first year and carried Frank Yankovic into the mainstream of American music. But greater acclaim was yet to come. We've seen how Frank Yankovic became one of America's most popular entertainers. When we come back, we'll see what happened when Frank and his band went to Hollywood. And we'll hear them play the Hokey Pokey Polka, the Acapulco Polka, and EIO.
By Myron Florin.
First point your left foot, then start to glide. Then point your right foot, swing to the side. Then twirl your partner, dip down below. Then clap your hands and you're all set to go. It's the Hokey Pokey Polka for the Hokey Tonky tune. With a ricky-ticky rhythm like a mockingbird in June. With a Humpty-Dumpty tempo and a hurdy-gurdy sound. It's a Hokey Pokey Polka, they're playing all around. It's the #1 request of all the polkas. And the jockeys play it morning, night, and noon. It's the polka that will really end all polkas. And the jokers say it won't be none too soon. Oh, it ain't the karaoke or the Rhapsody in Blue or the thing called Tico Tico or the Inky Dinky Doo. When you're down at Duffy's Tavern, what does everybody croon? It's the Hokey Pokey Polka with a honky-tonky tune.
With 2 million selling records and the title of America's Polka King, Frank Yankovic and his band headed for Hollywood. What fascinates me is that the musicians Frank took with him to Hollywood were all top professionals, but they were relative newcomers to polka music.
Now, in all my bands that I had, this was the greatest entertainment band. I mean, dancing, singing, and producing things. Buddy Grable on piano, Tops Cardoni on accordion, Carlo Paradiso on guitar and banjo, and then on bass fiddle was Al Leslie.
The first time on stage at the Macambo, Frank and his band were nervous. How would movie stars respond to polka music?
We started playing a couple of foxtrots for get all these movie stars on the floor. In the middle of the dance, we stopped and played a polka, and 75% stayed on. In the Los Angeles Mirror next day, Bob Hope wrote, "If you can cha-cha, you can polka. If you can rumba, you can polka. If you can waltz, you can polka."
Frank would have Tops Cardone, the Italian influence, do a couple of Italian numbers. You know, one of those things, and the people just loved. And
I inserted a little, he calls it personality, besides the music. The laughs, I would dance all over the stage with the music. And once in a while, if I had the right audience, I would kick, and the loafer would go flying. A couple of times I never got the loafer back.
They dressed like Hollywood, they acted like Hollywood, and they performed like Hollywood.
One of the reasons why Frank became so darn popular was his music in particular, because there was a simplicity about it that went on and on with that everyone out in that audience could understand and enjoy.
He sings in what is one of the most straightforward styles that you can imagine. It's just like, you know, your Uncle Louie trying to sing along, you know.
He has this innate capability of looking at an audience, sizing up the audience, and knowing what they want to hear, and he plays it, and he continues to play it.
So you can listen. We'd like to play the one and only Bohemian tune called Czerwona Suknica. That's right, the Blue Skirt Waltz. Gotta go according to the crowd. I never have a set routine what I want to play. I look around, watch how they dance, and I do it.
We'll take a tune like Just Because You Think You're So Pretty, okay? You play a couple of courses of Just Because, and then there's a release. Da 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 da. Da 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 da, okay? Now, this is where they really whoop it up, the dancers. They scream and holler. It gives it, like in the jazz field, a real good lick, a good push, you know.
While in Hollywood, arrangements were made for Frank and his band to work with lyricist Sammy Cahn and to record with Doris Day.
One of the highlights of my experience with Frank was when we were still in Hollywood, and they had made arrangements to have Doris record with Frank. Very lucky that I married Ruthie that early that morning, because if I hadn't, I might have married Doris. I don't know.
There's an accordion man around our neighborhood. Can't read a single note, but he is plenty good. He pumps the music polka dancers start to jump. Whenever he begins to pump, 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 pumpernickel, that's his.
Columbia Records made every effort to capitalize on Frank's growing popularity. A battle of the bands was arranged, polka against jazz.
Oh, they had Duke Ellington. The Duke, geez. I'll never forget, they wore those white tuxedo jackets and great Satin Doll, all those great tunes he wrote. Well, we don't stand a chance. Are you joking? Are you kidding? With the Duke? We won by a landslide. Yankovic. Amazing. So I'll never forget the Duke said, well, if you can't beat them, you join them. And they struck up the clarinet polka.
Frank and the band even started making movie shorts. These were the music videos of the 50s.
Al, Leslie, and I are sitting in the theater and just relaxing, and on comes this Jerry Gray short that we were performing in. Here we are sitting in Iron Mountain, Michigan. It was just delightful, you know.
Do the Acapulco polka. It makes me feel so light and gay. I learned to do the Acapulco polka one night the Mexicali way. There's something about the Acapulco polka that makes you jump and shout, ole. You don't have to go to Mexico to do the Acapulco polka. In Rio Janeiro, they do the bolero. No, 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 no more. In Santa Domingo, they do the pandingo. No, 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 no more. Guadalajara, they tell me so far, the tango is passé. The Acapulco polka, like rum and coca, is here to stay.
By now, Columbia saw that Frank's crowd-pleasing performances boosted record sales. Plans were made for extended touring.
He said to me, they want me to travel. I said, will you travel now some? No, but they want me to travel all the time. He says, what should I do? I said to him, whatever will make you happy.
Those were the heydays. Those were halcyon years. They were beautiful. That was from coast to coast, from New York to California, both Hollywood and the major shows in New York.
He was the pioneer that was the first to get on television playing polka music and to be invited to all types of functions, whether they were polka or non-polka.
There was Kate Smith, there was Milton Berle, Cesar Romero.
I'm guessing that at a minimum we had 275, 300 days a year. And that's a lot of running. That's right. That's how I lost all my hair. I just.
Let's go, fellas. Hey, Bob, rebop. Hey, hey, Bob, rebop. Hey, hey, Bob, rebop. Hey, hey, Bob, rebop.
We were on the road constantly, constant bivouac, if you call it, with instruments. I think being in the armed services was easier.
A lot of times we're off the road. That wakes you up fast.
You'd leave wherever you're working, where all these fans were there, and probably had to drive another 12 hours after working, or 10 hours to get to the next town. Frank was constantly on a telephone or writing letters and constantly in communication with all these people around the country who wanted his performance.
We would be driving, and this man would be typing one finger at a time.
I was, you might call a daredevil as far as driving.
I know the boys, if you talk to the boys, they can probably tell you a lot more stories than I could.
I call him the world's worst driver. I called him everything. Ooh, I mean, train missed us. Frank, you're not going to make it. It hit our trailer. And I said, if you drive this car one more time, I'm going home, right from here. And he didn't drive for about 4 years.
We pulled into a gas station to fuel up, and of course I went in to wash my hands, and I was in there just a little bit long, I guess, and they filled up the tank of the car, and they drove off, and I'm still in the men's room. So they left me at this gas station. I said, wait a minute, they can't do that to me. They need me on that bandstand, you know. So I went out to the front curb, because I said, they got to wake up sometime and realize that I'm not in the car.
The roads are icy, real bad, and all once the bus stopped. And Frank right away seemed to know what it was. He said, the gas line froze. So he gets out with some tools, he takes off the gas line off the carburetor, and he's down in the engine compartment blowing on the gas line. And I can still see him there, you know. America's Polka King down there blowing on this gas line.
One of the major reasons that I left in '54 was the length of time we spent on the road was just incredible because of Frank's popularity. Everybody wanted him, and they wanted him now, and it just went on and on and on.
With the advent of rock and roll, a lot of accordions were put in the closet as the guitar gained popularity. Yet even Elvis liked Just Because.
Well, just because you think you're so pretty, and just because your mama thinks you're the hottest thing in town. Well,
Frank was eclipsed because of Elvis. The accordion of Frank's was eclipsed by the guitar.
But Frank continued playing his music all over the country. Even though his nonstop traveling took its toll on his family, he stayed on the road, often driving more than 100,000 miles a year.
Yes, well, in our travels, there are times where you get so depressed, things don't go right for you, you just want to say you want to give up. And I'll never forget when we had that one accident back in 1960, when I was thrown out the car and I had a fractured back, and I was in the hospital for over 3 months. And while I was in the hospital there, my mind kept going, and I was so depressed because I never thought that I'd be able to go back, play the accordion, and back on the road and see all my friends.
Somebody told me when you go to book, when you take a date or something, you don't book a motel even in advance. You show up in town and...
Because we know ahead of time. We don't stay in a motel maybe 1% of the time. We're always invited over a friend's house, and if we don't go there, they feel disappointed. And then we have a part, it's like a wedding. After the dance, we go there, they put a table of display up there.
What was that word, wedding? Wedding.
Almost like a wedding.
Wedding, okay. Kind of kick in when I hear that word.
Traveling with my father on the road is not like you see in the TVs. I mean, one-nighters, and we're in and we're out, and if you get to take a shower, you're lucky.
You don't have these big tour buses, and you don't have people setting your equipment up. You do everything, you know, and there's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure.
Someone stole a kishka, someone stole a kishka, someone stole a kishka from the butcher shop. Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Who stole the kishka? Someone call the cop.
He'd play places that no one would even dream of playing, and because of who he was and the way he presented himself, he would get the young and old people on the stage no matter what.
I wandered alone one night when I heard an orchestra play. I met you where lights were bright, people were carefree and gay. You were the beautiful lady in blue, I was just waltzing with you. You filled me with strange delight. Softly you stole away. Everybody sing. I dream of that night with you. Lady, when first we met, we danced in a world of blue. How can my heart forget bluer skies and bluer eyes, just like the blue skirt you wore?
Decade after decade, Frank crisscrossed the country, playing to a network of loyal fans and finding new audiences. His passion for the music helped polka to become officially recognized in 1986 as a form of American popular music. And once again, the national media spotlight focused on Frank.
Come on and dance, dance, dance. Dance all your troubles away. Just try to dance, dance, dance. Life can be happy and gay. And as the band plays more and you glide across the floor, you know you're gliding with the one you adore. Be it a polka they play while you dance the night away, you're dancing with your love forevermore.
We've seen how nothing has been able to stop Frank Yankovic from bringing his music to the people. When we return, you'll see how Frank Yankovic came back into the national limelight in 1986. And we'll hear the tick-tock polka, the
of Frank Yankovic, America's Polka King, hosted by Myron Florin.
The first time I actually met Frank Yankovic was, I think it was 1986. I was doing a TV show called Weird Al's Guide to the Grammys. And that was the first year that polka was a category at the Grammys. And of course, Frankie was nominated. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to get Frankie to fly out to LA and do a whole segment of the show based around him? So we did a segment called Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Frankie Yankovic, a man shrouded in mystery, an iconoclastic visionary with his fingers on the pulse of the music world.
Frankie, there's been a British invasion. There's been a disco invasion. Do you think the country is ready for a polka invasion?
I think it's way overdue, Al, I'll be honest with you.
Both of our last names are Yankovic. We both play the accordion. We're both up for Grammys this year. There's even a little bit of a physical resemblance there. Do you think we're related?
No, absolutely not.
In 1986, Frank Yankovic won the first Grammy Award for polka. The album was 70 years of hits. The Grammy recognized the quality of Frank's album, but more importantly, it symbolized the formal recognition of polka as an American musical art form. And I remember saying, it's about time.
He absolutely deserved the honor. He earned it. He worked for it.
From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring.
I think he's helped to bridge the gap, the ethnic gap, where people can't say, well, polka music is just strictly ethnic music. He's appealed to everybody. So I think he's probably Americanized polka music more than anyone has.
Frank Yankovic has left a lasting imprint on American popular music. His songs have touched the lives of millions, and he's inspired countless musicians.
What sets Frank apart, I think, from day one, he was able to associate with some of the best musicians in the business, who from their association with Frankie Yankovic learned and grasped so much musically, promotionally, and otherwise, to go on to form their own bands, to go on to be involved with recording companies, radio shows, television programs.
I used to dream of being like him. I wanted to play an accordion like Frankie Yankovic. I wanted to dress like Frankie Yankovic. I wanted to be like Frankie Yankovic.
through him, I could see when a person plays, when they're playing from their soul, that it comes out, and it's marvelous what happens. It's a magical thing.
All of us guys were really youngsters, you know, kids, and not just about music, but about life and everything. You know, he took so many guys under his wing, and you learn as you went, you know.
Gave us all, young or old, an inspiration, somebody to look up to, somebody who really did it.
He is one of a kind. He's like an Elvis. He's like a Benny Goodman. He had that wonderful, earthy, kind of back to the roots thing that great blues singers have, or jazz people.
We Marie, quando zona tu sabote.
Yankovic created the sound. He created a field of play. And in that field of play, you can have this variation and that variation, but it's still basically a Yankovic sound.
He really was a pioneer in how to perform with the people and for the people and make them an active participating part, not just an audience, but making them part of the show.
When you saw the enthusiasm that he had, it was catching. You know, you just get right in it with him.
All right, we've got 21 minutes before the hour of 12 here at Heartbeat 1330 WELW as we continue on, and our next guest happens to be America's Polka King, Frank Yankovic.
When I went out and played with the boys, I had one thing in mind: to make the people happy, to have them out there dancing and forget about their worries and don't worry about nothing else. And I always told my boys in the band, make sure you smile up there, move, let them know you're having a good time. Because if you don't have a good time, how do you expect them to have a good time?
Tick, 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 tock goes the clock on the wall as we're dancing the evening goes. Tick, 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 tock goes my heart with the clock beating time while the music is. Tick, 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 tock is the rhythm it plays, and I know it will make you feel. Tick, 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 tock goes my heart with the clock, but you know I am dancing. The very best in town. It makes you so tall. Drink it down, drink it down, drink it down. A toast to Milwaukee. So raise your glasses high.
I've seen him many times, very, very tired and very, very sick. Get on the stage, the minute he gets on the stage, he's a different person.
I always said one thing, that your personality is about 75% of your music. The music is about 25%. The personality and the way you present it and how you give it out and how you feel it is what sells it.
We have a word in our Croatian language, zanesenjak, which I wish there was an English translation for. It means somebody that's carried away by the wind.
Frank is a human being like everybody else, although there are many people that don't think he is. I mean, they think that he's a machine and that he can keep going and going, and to prove it to these people, he does it, even to this day.
Frank will think nothing of driving 100 miles out of his way to visit someone that's ill or maybe can't make it to the dance.
No matter who you were always special to him.
A long distance.
Well, real nice to have you here, Neil. He has a soul, a feeling, empathy for people that's, I think, carries on that a lot of people that reach that kind of stardom never had in their system at all.
The one song that I really like that Frank sings, I mean, I must tell you, is You Are My One True Love. And when he sings it, he doesn't sing it as if he's singing it to a woman. He's singing it as if to say, you fans are my one true love.
You are my one true love. Say that we'll never part. You'll always be the one who lies within my heart.
Because Frank incorporated elements of various polka styles, he has become a tradition bearer for Americans with Central European roots. This is one reason why Frank's audiences feel a sense of unity, in spite of their diverse backgrounds.
I stuck with polkas because that was me in my heart.
He pushed it, not so much only for himself, but he always believed in the Slovenian heritage.
He sang Slovenian, he spoke Slovenian, and he let everybody know it. Whether it was on national television, whether it was on a stage at a picnic, he was proud of his heritage, proud of his roots, and an obvious love for music.
Now we take you back in the 30s with my first recording, a little tune called Silk Umbrella. Here we go. Yes, pati, pashita na marila, ti payas, pasmova narila. Yes, pati, pashita na marila, ti payas, pashita paras. Hey! And now from our Grammy album, 70 years of polka hits, here's a little song entitled, Hey little sweetheart, how do you do? I'd like to spend all my days with you. Tell me you're mine and I'll guarantee we'll be as happy as can be. And when we're married, we'll build a home with love and laughter for us alone. And then of course, dear, a family will be as happy as can be.
Looking back on his career, Frank says he accomplished all that he wanted to do, with one exception.
It didn't help my family life. That's the only part that I would say I regret. You know, although I had 8 children with the first wife and 2 with the second wife, I honestly, and I hate to say it, I really lost my family.
Growing up with my dad, it was very hard. He was never there. He'd come off the road, and it was a very demanding period for him because he was doing job after job after job. And it would take him about, I'd say, 3 days, really, to relax.
He traveled all over the United States, and generally he stayed at someone's house. And he always saw how other kids were with their parents, but usually when you stay at somebody's house, the kids are in their best behavior, and And I don't really even think he realized that there was another side to life other than what he saw.
I felt like he didn't have the time to give us, to talk to us about simple, everyday things.
I bought each one a car to try to make up. And you can't make up, if you're not there, you can't make up lost time. And you can't buy them, in other words.
But children don't always want things. They want that hug or that pat on the back. The hardest thing for my dad, and it always will be, is to tell his own children what he thinks of them.
His music was his life, and I've had to learn to accept that, you know, and he's always been good to us. Not around as a father much, but as I've gotten older, I've realized what he was trying to do.
The day I was married, my dad picked me up at my mother's house, and I got in the car, and he said, just something very simple like, you look very pretty today. I don't remember my dad ever saying that.
Yeah, but at least now he's slowed down. Back then he went like crazy.
Boy, he's changed a lot. The most important thing that he's learned is that his immediate family, and I'm talking about his own children, are important to him, and that he's important to us. And that's the big change I see. When I see him with my boys, it may only be a couple times a year, and it may not be a big, long, drawn-out conversation, but I see him trying. That to me means more than, personally, anything he's ever accomplished in his whole life.
What's your favorite thing he does?
Well, when he handshakes me or hugs me, he always does it tight or goes when he shakes.
I guess I just love him more now, because he's the father now that I wish he was to me when I was little. He's accessible.
After nearly 5 decades on the road, Frank's trying to retire. Or so he says.
I don't want to act my age. I want to live like I'm 50.
Right, right. You give to me, you give a senior citizen the motivation that there is life even when you get older. You don't have to.
It's all up in your mind.
It is.
I wish I was 18 again and going where I've never been.
I think whenever Frank has to slow down, period, that's an obstacle.
Frank still today doesn't have the time to sit down and do nothing.
What are you doing? Hey, that's the diaper.
He told me, Walter, it's different now. Now I'm going to retire. I got time with you and all that. Yes, for 10 minutes. And guess what? He's got to be doing something, or he's got me doing something with him. In other words, you don't sit around with him and do nothing.
I'll tell you what, you got to have a sense of humor being married to a musician.
Yeah.
Because, and especially one that doesn't wear his hearing aid.
I wish I was 18 again and going where I've never been.
But I'm happy with what I've done. I mean, I'm satisfied. I've done everything I wanted to do. What more can you ask for?
I wish I was 18 again.
In the aim of playing for a multi-ethnic audience, Frank Yankovic has brought happiness to millions. Through his musical legacy, he will continue to do so. I know I'll always play his music.
Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just let it be known that the Polka King will reign forever.
Thank you.
Frankie Yankovic, uncrowned since 1948, is recrowned as America's Polka King today by Mayor Frank P. Zeidler at Festa Italiano. Baby, I'm through with you just because you think you're so pretty.
Now arriving, Walter Ostanek. He's a living legend. How many Grammys he's won?
Hello, I'm Yash Mengi. And I'm Stan Schmengi.
They got the idea from my television show.
It's Walter Ostanek. I'll open for him.
He is the Polka King.
Let's have a party tonight.
He's just a marvelous, marvelous man to be around.
He's inspired us to pick up the accordion, and I play now, and my two sons.
The
guy's amazing. Plays the accordion like no man. He's a machine.
The accordion player that walks into a bar, any music here? He said, we have a strolling accordion player. He says, when does he start? He says, 9 o'clock. He says, when do you close? He says, after his first song.
The accordion. In the wrong hands, it's the punchline for many a joke. In the wrong hands, it squeaks, honks, and gives shivers. But in the right hands, it can do a lot. Especially if those hands belong to Walter Ostanek.
Very good, a little faster.
In Walter's hands, it has been the instrument that has taken him around the world and into our living rooms. It's the instrument that made Walter Ostanek Canada's most accomplished musician.
Give yourselves a nice round of applause.
Don't believe it? Consider this. He's put out enough records to rival the Rolling Stones, 80 in his 50-year career. He holds the Canadian record for Grammy nominations, 18 in total, earning him 3 consecutive wins.
And the Grammy goes to Accordionally Yours, Walter Ostanek and his band.
By golly, am I ever happy, I'll tell you. Never dreamt that I would win it, but like I say, I worked hard at it, and it was just meant to be, I guess, and I won 3 in a row, 92, 93, 94. After that, I've been being nominated almost every year, well, actually every year after that, but I haven't won since, and I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I am just happy to go to be one of the top 5. It's a big thrill.
3 consecutive Grammys has yet to be topped by another Canadian. But this international success hasn't changed Walter's life. He hasn't gone Hollywood or even Toronto. Walter humbly and happily hangs his accordion here in St. Catharines, Ontario. Though all the accolades haven't changed Walter, they have opened the door for some moments that most musicians, let alone polka players, only dream of.
An outstanding award-winning accordionist, he has been inducted into 2 of North America's most renowned polka halls of fame.
I dreamt about, maybe getting one, and I came home one night and there was a letter. Are you interested You know, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I opened up the letter right on the stairs there. I looked at it, you know, and I mean, I couldn't believe it, that I was going to get the Order of Canada.
His steadfast and unwavering dedication to his music, to his fans, and to his community has earned him the title of Canada's Polka King. Mr. Ostanek.
Some people work in stores, some people work on a farm, and I play the accordion. You know, you have guys that give you little digs once in a while from different venues in music. And, you know, I say, well, you do what you do, and I will do what I do. And, you know, good luck to you, and good luck to me.
For Walter, his dream has always been to play the accordion. As a kid, he loved the music his parents danced to at the family parties they would attend.
If you listen to the actual accordion, you can understand why I got excited because when I was a kid. Because this accordion here, it also has the basses, deep basses. In the old days, they had no bands. The accordion, like where my mother and dad come from, Slovenia, there was no bands in the old days, in the 20s and 30s and, you know, the 1900s. You know, there wasn't any. There was the band wasn't one accordion player. And he, you know. It was very unique. That's when it first registered in my brain that I loved accordion music, and I started bugging my dad. I was maybe 3 years old. I was just amazed with the good times that people were having, and I think that this is what really enticed me right from day one, that music makes people happy. 1, 2.
Walter started playing music before he'd even heard of rock and roll, yet he still managed to pull the ultimate rock and roll move. He quit school and joined a band. That was 50 years ago. In that time, that decision has gotten him some incredible places.
Canada's polka king, Walter Ostanek, right here.
Walter has appeared on Tommy Hunter and just about everyone else's TV show. Lawrence Welk, Phil Donahue, Jay Leno, and Johnny Carson.
You have to laugh at yourself. We did the Jay Leno show after they did the thing. What did we do? They said, well, do you have any extra time? I said, sure. We were finished. What did they do? They put us on an elevator. We were playing elevator music for people getting in and off the elevator. You know, some guys could get insulted with that, eh? I'm the Canada's polka king. Here I am playing on an elevator. I thought that was kind of unique. Then after they said, you got a little more time? I said, yeah. And they get us a couple of cabs, and away we go. We go to a strip place, and we're playing for the strippers. So, we played for the strippers. So what?
It's polka time. With Canada's king of polka, Walter Ostanek, and his show band.
And while strippers never made a guest appearance, Walter was host of his own TV show for over 20 years from Kitchener, where it seems polka has never gone out of style on the television dial.
That started things. People did get to know who I was.
So even if you haven't seen Walter on his own show, you certainly have seen him on TV before.
Hello, I'm Yashmengi. And I'm Stan Schmengi. And we are the Happy Wanderers.
Walter was the inspiration for Eugene Levy and John Candy's SCTV sketch, The Schmengi Brothers.
They got the idea from my television show with the rhinestone accordion and all that, because my accordions were, like most of them were rhinestone, and smiling, you know what I mean, that big smile on their face. When it first came out, I didn't like it. They gotta knock the accordion, they have to knock polkas, and you know. After a while, you have to laugh. You have to laugh. because you're doing what you enjoy doing, and the thing is that they were doing something, but you know, a lot of it is truth. I mean, you know, cabbage rolls, ha, 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 you know.
How are the cabbage rolls? Good, good. And the coffee? Wonderful. Stan? I know what you mean, Yash. Mrs. Yachke really outdid herself tonight with her delicious homemade cabbage rolls and coffee. Can't be beat.
Joking aside, when Eugene and Walter finally met at the Grammy Awards, it was mutual admiration.
You're not the Walter Ostanek. I says, yes, I am. Holy mackerel, there's 4 or 5 people around. Hey, here's a guy I always wanted to meet. Well, I felt like $1 million. He wanted my autograph on my card. I said, holy mac. So I told him, I said, you know, if you ever decide to make the schmingies again, here's the schmingy right here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Who stole the quiche-ca? Who stole the quiche-ca? Who stole the quiche-ca? Won't you bring it back? Round and firm and fully packed, it was hanging on the rack. Someone stole the quiche-ca when I turned my back. Everybody, who stole?
Walter Ostanek has accomplished more than most Canadian musicians. But how did he do it playing polka music? By working hard. Harder than most musicians these days. For Walter, there's never been a big label, manager, or PR machine. Just a man and his accordion.
I think I earned it. It's something that you have put your heart and soul into it. Day one, January 26th, 1957.
Polka may not be the important genre as some of the other ones, but still there's a lot of people who like it. And Walter has really devoted his life to it and is a heck of a showman and player and dedicated. He'll be playing the rest of his life.
Walter may very well be the hardest working, most accomplished musician in Canada, but he's still far from a household name. Yet in a music mecca south of the border, it's a very different story. Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But Cleveland doesn't rock, it polkas. This is Polka-Palooza, the largest annual polka festival held every American Thanksgiving. And here, Walter is truly a king.
It's the best festival, especially in this part of the country. And it's almost like a polka homecoming. I've been coming to this every Thanksgiving since I was 8 years old. And a lot of the people come here every year, and it's just a really good time.
It's my heart and soul. I breathe it, my heart beats it, I sweat it, I sleep it, I eat it, I drink it.
You can't buy this high that we get. You know, you can't get this high from a drink either. When Walter and I were looking at another, we're smiling, and you just forget about everything else. And I'm sure the people that are dancing feel the same way. This all of a sudden, it's like magic, and Walter does that. He's magic to the people, and it goes back and forth.
Here, loyal polka fans travel far and wide to dance and live in a world that really is polka-rific, at least for a long weekend. The Grateful Dead had their Deadheads, fans following the band, and Walter has his Polka Heads. Fans like Les Sieben and Kevin Gartner, brothers from Edmonton, Alberta.
We've always wanted to make the trip, see our idol, and we finally took that step this year and come down and surprised him. And needless to say, I think he was surprised.
Walter's getting older, and we may not get the chance again, so we're going to make the extra effort this year to get down here, and we're glad we did now.
I want to call you sweet, I want to call you dear, but words just fail me whenever you are near.
This weekend in Cleveland is it's like the center of all this type of music, this polka music, and a lot of people, everybody knows each other. It's like family, and all the top musicians come together, and led by, in our opinion, Walter is, you know, so we're excited to see all the guys play and all the great musicians down here. But we come from Canada, and we want to support Walter.
In the beginning, Walter didn't have any fans. He was a fan. Walter was a young musician who loved polkas and waltzes. The only thing he loved even more was the music of America's polka king, Frank Yankovic. Walter went from being the president of Yankovic's fan club to playing in his band, where he accompanied his hero for years.
Frank said to Walter, you know, I'm America's polka king. Why don't you take the title Canada's polka king? So Walter accepted that moniker on Frankie Yankovic's prodding, and has really gone throughout North America, United States, and Canada, and he is tops in his field.
And though Yankovic has since passed on, his spirit is very much a part of Walter's music.
All right, in Frankie Yankovic's memory, ladies and gentlemen, his #1 song.
Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you got something that nobody else has got.
Anyone can follow a path. The secret in life is to create a path for others to follow, and that's what he did. He opened up that path for us to follow in his footsteps, and which we did. And we have to thank him for it, especially a person that played the style that I played.
Walter finds his own personal moment of rejuvenation away from the fans amidst the memorabilia in the Cleveland-style Polka Hall of Fame. He's one of the 5 original inductees into this hallowed hall.
And these are the 5. Matt Hoyer, who was the pioneer before Frankie Yankovic, okay, and Johnny Vadnal, and Frankie Yankovic, Johnny Pecan, who was Frankie Yankovic's right-hand man, and I don't know who this guy is, but... Now, this is accordion played on Just Because and Blue Skirt Waltz, which was the 2 million sellers for Frankie Yankovic.
Of course, when polka music was first recognized as a Grammy category in 1986, the award went to America's Polka King.
When Frank won the Grammy, I many times held that Grammy in my hand. And I really did dream about it. You know, I said, gee whiz, it would really be nice, you know, if one day I could win a Grammy. And well, my dream came true. And this is the era that I came in with Frank, that I met Frank. I wanted to be just like him, you know. And that's, if you notice, he's smiling, and that's where I learned it from. I happen to know them all, and I'm getting choked up a little bit. To me, just to get to know them personally and be friends with them, I have accomplished really in my heart. You know, I didn't just meet them. I got all these guys, I got to know them personally and befriended them. And to this day, whoever is still alive, we're friends. And forget everything else, it's just friends.
The climax of the weekend is the annual Cleveland-style Polka Music Awards, held in a high school auditorium in the nearby suburb of Euclid. For people who are passionate about polka music, this is their Grammy night.
To us, in the world of polka music, it's a big thing because, as opposed to the Grammys, our fans are voting for us.
And if he's nervous about the nomination and winning this evening, Walter does not show it.
Reduced it down to 5 nominees, and these 5 nominees are the following.
For Recording of the Year,
Gurkmania. Great Grandpa Gurkman sings Joe Gurkman and Gurkmania. It's a Blount time. Stan Blount. Polkas United. Walter Ostanek and Gaylord Clancy. The Girl Next Door. Kathy Zimig-Vogt. Fred Zwick plays the music of Slavko Ostanek on the button box. Fred Zwick.
And the winner is...
Fred Zwick plays the music of Slavko Ostanek on the button box. Fred Zwick, ready.
On this night, Walter does not win, but he takes it all in stride. The Polka King is also the king of composure.
Danny.
Yes, sir.
In case I don't see you again, so what?
Yeah. Hey, we're friends like you. We don't need the enemies.
And you know what? I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Denny except the bad words I said about him myself. Yeah. Okay.
What a sense of humor.
I don't know what the heck we would do without Walter Ostanek if there's ever going to be a day when he's not around or not able to play for whatever reason. You know, I hope that I'm not around when that is. You know, I hope he's around forever.
No problem. Okay, again, Walter. Good seeing you. Take it easy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The award show party will go into the night, but Walter leaves early. He's got a gig out west with an even bigger cult of his fans.
He is the Polka King.
Thank you. My pleasure.
My God, I shook Walter's hand.
Well, thank you, sir.
Somewhere in the heart of Saskatchewan is Manitou Beach, population 212. On the lakeshore sits an icon, Danceland, a special reminder of an era that seems to be forgotten.
This place here, many years ago, was the in place to come and dance here, probably to big bands and dance bands of different sorts. Could be a Guy Lombardo type of a band. I can just picture the people dancing on here, not ballroom dancing, but the good dancing. And that era went for many, many years, and then things slacked off. And the young people today, they haven't found that genre yet. And unfortunately, these kind of places, I mean, they're beautiful. This dance floor is probably one of the finest in the world. And it's built on horsehair. And for dancers, the ones that really enjoy dancing, I mean, they're in heaven.
I guess from the 30s through the 50s, this was a really hopping place. There was a time there was 6 dance halls, I believe it is, in this area. And this is the last remaining one to come here and play on the same stage that people like Mart Kenny and the Dorsey Brothers and Glenn Miller, the really hot swing bands of the day played, is really quite an honor. And it's nice to be playing it with, well, the guy that's the king.
True, Danceland is not as bustling as it used to be, but you wouldn't know it this weekend. The place is alive. The great Walter Ostanek is in town.
How many other Canadians have won 3 consecutive Grammys? How many other Canadians have been nominated 18 times, and I think soon to be 19? This guy has really accomplished an awful lot in his lifetime, and he's an inspiration to any of the young people that are getting into the music business, no matter what the genre.
He's inspired us to pick up the accordion, and I play now, and my 2 sons, and Kevin and his 3 sons now also play the accordion.
This is the event of the year, and everyone wants to take home a story of how they were here to see Walter Ostanek.
He is the Polka King. So, you know, how many people want to learn the polka? This is a place to do it.
Well, he's like the guy next door. He's like your neighbor. I mean, the funny thing about Walter is you'll see him on television and he wins a Grammys down in Los Angeles, and you go, oh, this is really something, you know. Then Walter comes home and you go and have coffee with him at the restaurant and you just talk about every other thing like, that's Walter, you know. It's great.
Great fan of his music. I find it very good for my heart and my soul, and I just want to take every opportunity I can to take part in it.
He's inspired us to carry on that accordion tradition, I guess.
We are here with a real star, real celebrity.
People come up to me and say, Walter, I've been watching you. You really love what you do. I says, yes, I do. See, but you think people are not watching, but they are watching. And when you're happy, they're happy. And if they're happy, you're happy.
But there is a bittersweet quality to this gathering. While old and young have assembled, there are fewer young than old.
I've been playing for 15 years, and I'm playing for the same people I did 15 years ago. And I see it's like a reunion for me here. I see the same people. They're 15 years older, and I tell you what, they were old back then. They're old now, and I'm telling you, they're dwindling off. We're just not getting the younger group in like we should.
Roll out the barrel.
Like the dance hall in Manitou, polka's best days may be behind it, but not on a night like tonight. Well after midnight, the 72-year-old Walter plays to the end, displaying the stamina of a man half his age.
Thank you.
For Walter, the show isn't over until every autograph is signed, and every fan has said hello, and he says goodnight.
Thank you very much for coming. There you go.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
My God, I shook Walter's hand.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm just an ordinary guy. Hey, I'm just an ordinary guy enjoying myself. It's people like you that make me happy, you know?
Good job.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
If Danceland and the show in Manitou are about keeping traditions, then Walter's next gig is all about breaking them. Oktoberfest in Kitchener. It's all about tradition. Families gather for the food and the fun. Daytime is for the parade and the kids. Night is for the polka party and Oktoberfest beer. But here, there's a new tradition that has gained cult status.
Anybody seen Walter? You know. Yeah.
Where is he?
Right here.
Are you busy?
No. Okay.
This new tradition has a 72-year-old accordion player and Canada's hottest rock bands getting on stage together and jamming, delivering Walter's message to thousands of rock fans. It's cool to polka.
I heard almost a polka beat already.
It started a few years ago with Gordie Johnson and his previous band, Big Sugar.
You know, it was kind of an odd request the first time we heard it. They said, well, we want Big Sugar to play at Oktoberfest in Kitchener.
Johnson, they're probably one of the loudest bands I have ever heard ever in my whole life.
Like, it's Walter Ostanek, I'll open for him. They're like, I mean, you know, but it's kind of like a co-headline. It says co-headline nothing. The guy's won Grammy Awards. It's Walter. I'll open for him. That's cool.
The ceiling with the insulation was coming out of the thing from the power of the sound, you know.
Like, I think our tour manager actually came up to me during the show. It wasn't premeditated. It was like during the show. He was like, man, it'd be really great if we got Walter up to jam with you guys.
And that's how it started. And I says, if you want, I'll even go up there and play a couple of tunes with those guys. He says, you wouldn't do that. I said, sure I will.
You're kidding. It was just so off the wall, a suggestion that there's this big screaming rock show, you know what I mean? Everyone dancing and freaking out. Like, really? We're gonna get an accordion up here?
I says, we'll get together while they have a sound check and we'll just run over a couple of tunes, something simple, and we'll do it.
I was caught so off guard, like, of course we're doing it. We gotta do it.
Well, they were really worried that it wasn't gonna work. Well, it did work.
Got Walter up there and he just fit right in. He was singing along and played the accordion on it. So then we went into a polka version of the same song and the crowd went berserk. I thought, I don't see how I'm ever going to top this moment in my career. This is just such an amazing cultural, it's a very Canadian event, you know?
Yeah! Very good! The only thing
Tonight, Canadian Juno winner Sam Roberts continues this tradition dubbed Rocktoberfest.
Okay,
Okay, we gotta listen up here.
You might even do this in your show from now on. A little humor there. It's called In Heaven There's No Beer. In key of G. In heaven there is no C. D. G. They were all great guys. I mean, if you have a good attitude and you walk up there and you have a good attitude and treat them with respect, well, you get the same thing back. That's why we
Walter's played these songs thousands of times. Sam's never heard one of them, but he gets a quick run-through.
All these rock band guys, stars, they get on stage and they think they're big wheels, but when Walter goes up there, he's got the Grammys in his pockets, and none of these guys have, some of them may have Junos, but they sure as hell don't have Grammys, and so they're quite anxious to be on the stage with Walter and get that exposure.
Very good, very good. You guys, I'm gonna hire you guys as my polka band, okay?
There you go.
Have yourself a nice night.
Night falls,
Go ahead, sir.
the lineup starts, and the anticipation begins.
Our opening night in this festival hall, we're always sold out early for that night. It's a reunion, and Walter Sorter is the leader of the class to bring everybody back together once a year.
Watch out for that accordion. That thing is like Canadian treasure.
You know, it makes me feel good when I'm ready to go up there and, you know, the crowd are yelling, we want Walter, we want Walter. Well, you know, regardless how old I am, that makes me feel good. So I feel we're on the right track. The paying customer there, the young people, they enjoy that. Me going up there and playing a couple of tunes with them. That's just a little extra thing that they're getting, you know. Polkas and Rocktoberfest.
Now everybody sing along. First it's going to be instrumental, and then we're going to do In Heaven There Is No Beer, okay? This will be on Sam's next album, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I've been a band leader for 48 years, so the thing is, it isn't overnight. These little things that are happening for me extra now, well, that's all great, and I'm really enjoying it, but probably I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it was 20 years back, you know. But again, I have to thank God and that I'm still there, and still able to do what I enjoy. The young people went bananas over that. They thought that was great, you know.
Very good show.
Thank you.
Hey, Walter, will you sign my hat? I love you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, Uncle Walter.
Okay. I was signing hats and that, and every year that I signed it, I put the year on there. So you've got 1999, 2000, 2001, 2000. They might skip a year, and then they come back, and so on down the line. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get a photo?
Sure.
Okay, ready?
Thank you. Hello.
Walter, you're a machine. You know that.
He's a machine.
The man's a machine, aren't you?
I don't know.
Walter.
I think my machine is breaking down.
You're doing great.
There it is. Look at this. Here it is. Live on camera. Walter Ostanek signing belly. And her name's Jen.
There you go. Okay.
Jen, right here.
Oh, wait, Jen. Well, thank you.
You're a good kid.
Well,
Let's get a quick picture.
Yes, Walter has won over fans young and old.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But what about when Canada's polka king steps down? Can polka survive? When you've had a career like Walter's, there's a lot to look back upon. 50 years later, the box of memories is getting a little full.
We're going to be here all day, dear.
That's what. Just relax for 1 second, dear.
Yes.
Right over here, that's Mr. Walter Gretzky.
What a beautiful man.
Yeah.
I would never have a chance to see these people in person and to meet them, and they're so beautiful, down-to-earth people. So it's a great pleasure.
I go after the country western guys and everything, and Irene goes running after the rock and roll guys.
Oh, the movie stars.
Yeah. So, you know.
He's always Walter to me. I don't look at him as Canada's polka king. I just look at him as a polka guy. You know, he's the top-notch guy. But
ooh, I got to remember that.
Well,
you
yes,
got a bonus there. Top-notch guy. I like that. 49 years, see? Top-notch guy.
Oh, you are. You know, you got class. You know, a lot of these musicians, they go kind of haywire. But he doesn't. He's very level-headed.
Boy, oh boy. That's heavy. That's good. Thank you.
Well, it's true.
The photos and clippings in Walter's house are only part of the Polka King's legacy. The rest of his history resides at Ostanek's Music in his hometown of St. Catharines. Walter's music store has been a downtown fixture for 30 years. These days, there are a lot of electric guitars hanging upstairs, but the real treasures are downstairs.
It's a mess, but someday it'll be reality. I'm planning on starting a museum, not for money, for free. And I have a lot of things that I have been collecting for years, and personal things.
You know, a nice thing about Walter Ostanek is he is also a fan. He has a museum's worth of instruments that belong to the older polka players, records, costumes, outfits, clothing, autographs.
Well, I have around 200, and I have some accordions that go back to the late 20s, and a little variety of everything, some unique things, maybe not value-wise, but it'll be a little bit of an interesting thing.
I hope one of these days he does open his museum.
Maybe when I totally slow down, that's when it'll happen.
Slowing down is just what Walter had to do. A few years ago, believe it or not, this man who stands on his feet and squeezes a 20-pound accordion 4 to 5 hours a night has had quadruple bypass surgery.
The doctor said once you get, past the 3 months, you can start. And that's exactly what I did.
There's Bob and Len
Walter too, Eddie, Leroy, oh what a crew. They walk and talk when they feel low, then hurry back to Java Joe's early morning.
Walter, like everyone who has gone through this trauma, has altered his habits considerably. He's cut back on the beer and bratwurst and taken on some new healthy habits.
I knew a couple of the guys there, and they says, well, why don't you come to the mall and walk? So we do. But all the exercise stuff, it's boring. I have to be honest, you know. I mean, like I do it for 5 minutes. I don't want to do it no more.
Bypasses aside, Walter keeps on playing. And as he took the torch from his hero, Frankie Yankovic, polka purists wonder who Walter will pass the torch to.
A good-looking young fella that attracts young ladies. And I always say wherever the ladies are, the men are. And so the thing is, you see one young fella playing the accordion, and he's has that charisma. Before you know, you'll have 20 guys playing an accordion.
But there are those players and fans who believe that a renaissance in the music's popularity is right around the corner.
It's definitely starting to make a comeback. It seems like it's skipping a generation. It's kind of associated with older people. I am starting to see a lot of younger people come out, mostly their grandkids.
All it would take is one song, one movie, and boom, polkas can be back on top. So the key is to keep the quality of the music up, keep what we have going, work with the education, work with the young people, and the replenishments of the fans from the middle-aged group. And it's not going to die, I'll tell you that. It has every chance of becoming big, big, big again.
Let's have a party tonight. We'll play the music for your delight.
Whether or not polka once again tops the charts, there is one thing everyone who knows Walter can agree on: the crucial role he has played in performing and perfecting a style of music that is truly timeless.
Put it this way, Frankie Yankovic, who would have been America's polka king, passed away. He would have been 90 this year. Walter is 70 this year, so he has kind of taken on the status of what Frankie Yankovic was to the world. He travels around both as an ambassador. He encourages others to pursue polka music, and he's one of the most entertaining people. You know, when he gets out on stage, the smile's on, and he plays to the people, and the people love him.
Walter has won countless accolades, but there's one honor he still hasn't received: Canada's highest achievement in music, a Juno Award. And no one seems to know why.
Somewhere along the line, polkas got kind of hokey. I don't know where that happened exactly.
Now arriving, Walter Ostanek.
Bingy number 2.
I was reading in the newspaper that they have this Walk of Fame. Then I says, oh, yes, the polka guy is going to get in here. Good luck, you know.
In 2001, Walter beat fellow Canadian superstars Pam Anderson, Shania Twain, and even Wayne Gretzky to Canada's prestigious Walk of Fame.
You know, people can come and walk all over me.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
The man who gave the induction speech for Walter was dashing Danny Lewicki of the 1951 Stanley Cup winning Maple Leafs and Walter's longtime hockey hero. His induction was celebrated in Toronto in front of thousands of Canadians, including his fellow inductees Leslie Nielsen, Ferguson Jenkins, Kurt Browning, and the Guess Who.
Just because you think you're so pretty, just because you think you're so hot, just because you think you got something that nobody else has got. Well, you caused me to spend all my money. Well, you laugh and call me old Santa Claus. I'm telling you, baby, I'm through with you just because, oh yeah.
Hey, E-I-O. Thank you very much. Thank you. Everybody loves accordions, right? Polka, polka, polka. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have to thank everyone that's responsible for this. I'm going to cherish this for the rest of my life. Thank you. God bless. And what can I say? Thank you very much again. Thank you.
You know, here I am with Leslie Nielsen. I'm with Guess Who. I mean, like here we're being interviewed together. I mean, can't get any better than that.
With the Walk of Fame and all his other awards, there is still one honor that has eluded Walter, and it's one he would love to have. Walter has never won a Juno Award, Canada's Grammy equivalent. Due to a lack of candidates, polka music has never been considered a Juno category.
That'll never happen, and I have no qualms over that. We do not have enough polka musicians that want to record an album. We need at least 10 or 12 musicians, bands that will record every year. You can't have the Junos in for 1 year. You know, you got to have it in every year.
But there are those who insist that Canada's Polka King deserves a special Juno for lifetime achievement. Perhaps after over 80 records, the Order of Canada, touring the world, 3 Grammys and 18 Grammy nominations, they may be right.
He should have had a Lifetime Achievement Award a long time ago. There should be a category for polka music at the Junos. It's ridiculous.
Here's this guy. He's been around as long as your parents, and he's still making good music. Why aren't we giving him some kind of Lifetime Achievement Award?
For what he's done for our music and for our music in Canada, and I think he absolutely deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He rightfully would deserve any kind of special honor, music-wise, in Canada, too.
Yeah, I could see Walter getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, absolutely. I think that'd be a good idea.
From what I understand, Walter has earned almost every award that Canada has to offer, and it would be nice if he gets that someday.
Does someone have to forward the motion? I forward the motion. Can I get a second? Okay.
What a life! What a life! Can't get any better than this.
People say to me, when are you going to retire? I don't know that. I still love what I do. The good Lord up above is the one that's going to tell me when it's over. And when it's over, it's over. But I don't have any qualms. I don't have any disappointments. If it ends right this minute, right now, I've enjoyed my life. I'm maybe not rich in the bank, but I'm rich in my heart and soul. And I think I've made some people very happy.
Walter was nominated for his 19th Grammy. He didn't win. But he will be back. Walter has just started album number 81.
Kevin says your hair looks fine.
Remember, at least it's mine. Let's try it from the top.
Your headphones okay?
See?